Brambro back with some Grand Tactician Civil War. Union campaign on Very Hard, Very High. I made a couple changes to the settings. I have been recording this game over several campaigns without any music because I was afraid I might run into some copyright issues with that. I've had problems with that in other games. But I've seen enough other campaigns on YouTube that, with the music going, and apparently doesn't cause issues. So I went ahead and turned the music on. I always kind of liked it, and, I didn't have it off for that reason. So I've kept the volume pretty low on it. Let me know if it is still too high or maybe needs to be a little louder. That's one thing. And then the other thing is, my rig seems to be handling the game okay. I bumped up the settings for the models and the unit sizes and graphics options. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe the battles will look a little bit better with that. Okay. So, in our last episode, we had some fighting here in northern Tennessee. Let's have a look at what's going on in Virginia first. Army of the Potomac continues building these forts to lock in Richmond. Army of the Atlantic has landed and is actually, while I wasn't looking, has already been given credit for capturing the city of Norfolk, as well as that main port, which was the Confederacy's single most high-volume trade port. So, without further ado, let's have 8th Corps come right in here and take, well, that's not right. I don't want them going back to sea. I think if I just simply, yeah. So that should get that fort under siege. Other than that, staying pretty static for the moment in Virginia. The next step, once these forts are done, is 1st Corps is going to come down and grab Petersburg. The 1st Engineering Corps is almost done with this fort right outside Salem. It's awfully tempting to see if he could come over here and grab Lynchburg, but he would be completely unsupported against these Confederate armies. And, yeah, that seems a little bit of an overextension to me. For now, he's building his fort. Let's see how 4th Corps is doing with his supply situation. Still a little low, but he's rebuilding his provisions stocks. In our last episode, fought a battle here at Clarksville, which Grant did win. Polk took a kind of a weird retreat route. He retreated up this way, north, toward Bowling Green, even though that's no longer Confederate. And we lost sight of him. It wasn't clear what he was doing. But he's come back in vision, and he is proceeding down this road. And, we've all seen it. In our own games and in campaigns on YouTube. And when they're in retreat mode, it's almost like either they don't exist or other units don't exist. He'll probably retreat right through Nashville and not be engaged by the forts or anything like that. But he's got to keep retreating. I think he is probably going to go to Sparta. I think. We'll see what happens there. I had grabbed Jackson, Tennessee here with the 5th Corps of the Army of the Mississippi, precisely to kind of take that retreat option away from Polk. That job is done. I'm going to get the Army of the Mississippi moving south, as discussed in the last episode, on beginning to exert some control over this lower Mississippi Valley in this area. So I'm going to get the... Well, this is just such low-hanging fruit. Let's just come down here and grab Corinth, Mississippi first. I mean, it's right there. So, we'll do that. I don't think the Army HQ needs to move at all for the time being. And, okay, so here we need to finish up these forts over here. I was trying to just edge the 2nd Engineering Corps just close enough to besiege Henry, but not Donaldson. But I think that the river is blocking his combat radius. So I'm just going to pitch across. There. And 7th Corps is moving on down to this area as well. And then this could get modified depending on if Polk doesn't go where I expect, but I don't see any need for 3rd Corps in the Army of Tennessee to remain north of the Cumberland. I'm going to bring him back to Nashville for now. Okay. Let's get time rolling. Yeah, he's still fighting rearguard action here. Okay, he's using river movement to get across the river. That makes sense. Of course, we see that all the time too, right? I mean, where did those Confederate boats come from? We kind of have control over this stretch of the river now. Oh, 3rd Corps has a perk. Flying column is kind of my standard first slot. Oops, forgot to turn on telegraph and supply. Okay. So he's gone out of vision, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he went to Sparta. Started capturing Corinth. Okay, we've got a siege in progress now at Fort Henry. Okay. Initially in our favor, 65-35. Oh, did I have an assault option here? I do. 29 men. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see how Meigs' little bitty engineer corps does against 7 men. Go get him, money. Monty. Okay, after letting that run for a little bit, let's see if that really changed the prediction any. No, not so much. Corinth captured. Let's see. Decatur also looks like low-hanging fruit there. Ooh, okay, so CSA has gone diplomacy 3. Kind of the same trend that we've seen before. Obviously, this helps out with his quality and number of weapons. But it's another case where he did not go for Militia 4 or Military 2. just hurting his recruiting. On the other hand, have been making kind of a conscious effort to go after his weapons production facilities at Richmond and Knoxville, and the iron for those facilities at facilities in Tennessee. Is it possible that the AI is reacting to that by chasing more imported weapons with these policies? I may be giving the AI too much credit there. Okay. It's tempting to head over here to Decatur, but let's get the Army of the Mississippi on their designated task. And let's move these fellas down to Grenada, Mississippi. Let's put these guys on scout mode. I used to use this a lot until I realized how much it impacted reinforcement times for battles, and so I kind of stopped doing that. However, he's operating independently, and he's kind of in a situation where he's neither going to be reinforcing nor being reinforced if any battles come up. So let's go ahead and put him on scout. That'll get him some more XP toward that last perk slot, and maybe give us a little bit more vision. There could be some unspotted Confederate forces down in here somewhere. Matter of fact, it would be kind of weird if there weren't. Well, assaulting doesn't really appear to have speeded up this siege any. Somehow he's actually got more men. But 12 men, I guess, the siege is expected to take many months. Let's go see how we're doing at Norfolk. Well, there should be a... Okay, I don't understand why there's not a siege occurring here. He's plenty close enough. I guess we'll just move him up right on top of it. Strange. Okay, there goes Fort Henry. Okay. And now I want the 7th Corps to come in on... What's our monitors doing? Are they repaired yet? They're all repaired enough to be back in the fleet, but they're not 100%. I want the 7th Corps to come in and finish off the job on Fort Donelson, because I want them to get credit for their first combat this way. So we'll give 2nd Engineering Corps a rest on this. Yeah, can't see him, but supply depot building at Sparta. So that's where Polk is. And for the time being, we'll do the same thing with 3rd Corps. They're not going to be reinforcing anybody anytime soon. I just hope I remember to turn it back off. Okay, I think 4th Corps has... They've cleared their low food issue. So they're kind of back up to snuff. Just for now, let's move them over here to Kingston. I don't know if that's going to block Polk's retreat path or not. Over this mountain range. I don't think there's any Confederate IIPs up in this direction for Polk to retreat to. I guess he would probably try to go to Athens. Maybe the smarter play is to take Chattanooga first, which will flip not just Chattanooga, but it'll flip Athens as well. And there goes Fort Donelson. That was quick. Okay, I think with that little job done, let's flip 7th Corps from Western Department to Grant's command in the Army of the Tennessee, which was the long-term plan for him all along. Okay. Plus, Halleck has all these brigades ready to transfer to other corps. I'm going to go ahead and do that too. Maybe. I'm going to fiddle with that off camera. At some point. Yep, let's get the Army HQ coming down this way as well. And we were looking at Norfolk. Okay, we've got a siege going here now. That's fine. How's it looking? Oh, well in our favor. Estimated length of engagement, 78 days. That's always wildly off. Not too worried about that. Okay, Hampton Division has moved from Williamsburg down to Petersburg. Estimated 350 men. It's really... I mean, at that point, why even have an icon on the map? Okay, this fort is complete. I'm going to run telegraph down this valley. Can't hurt. Won't take that long. And we are just about done capturing Chattanooga. Let's have McClellan come on down here. It's our supply situation. Not terrible. Slowly dwindling. Let's go ahead and just start working on a supply depot here. Okay, Chattanooga is now Union controlled. Okay, I don't think we have to worry too much about this. This is related to keeping support above 60 until the end of 1862 for the midterm elections. I think we're doing fine in that regard. Okay, now, well, theoretically hasn't flipped yet. Well, behind that little fire symbol, it is showing blue. It just says Confederacy in text. So I'm not 100% sure exactly how the game is going to count that for whether Polk can retreat there or not. Or it might be counting it as Confederate just because of his presence, not just because of Chattanooga. In any case, I don't see any reason why. Let's get Butterfield on offensive stance. Let's go ahead and take Reynolds off scout. Let's go hit Polk again. France stuff in Indochina. I don't think this has any effect on gameplay. Unless maybe the only thing I could think of is if this situation is kind of resolved in the French government's eyes, maybe that's kind of like task complete for them diplomatically, and maybe this bumps up the chance of French intervention a little bit. That is pure speculation. I have no idea. It may just have zero effect. It's just historical flavor. In any case, this situation winds up being a pain in our butt about 100 years from now. Okay, I think we're about to have a battle here at Sparta. Almost certain. Nope, he's running away. Okay. Thanks for the supply depot. Cool with that. So now he would be running to Pulaski. Probably. Third Corps is doing final supplies. We'll chase him. Let's go to here. We'll get 7th Corps. Let's go this way. Grenada is Union control, but we got some supply issues. Yeah, it's pretty serious. Okay. Got to do the logistics. I have a feeling 5th Corps may be doing a lot of it, even more than usual, its own supply and fort building as he does this Mississippi campaign. I'm going to give him the engineer thing. Whoops. Okay, Fort Norfolk. Done deal. Now, thanks for zipping me over here. Where was I? Mississippi Army. So I'm going to give him the engineering. Steedman's HQ about to get another... maybe this would have been the place to put the engineering. That way Steedman could build supply and forts as well with the buff. I think I just messed that up. Okay, we've momentarily lost sight of Polk. I suspect we'll pick him up again. Let's come on down to Pulaski. It's probably where he is. Oh no, he's come all the way down here into Georgia. Well, there you go. We've run him completely out of Tennessee. That's a good deal. Cassville. Okay, the road is open to Decatur. Come on down here, Butterfield. We'll probably have to start building supply stuff in this area. And now we have all of these rivers open. However, we've gotten to a point where getting additional vision on the Cumberland is kind of superfluous. But let's get some of our little scouting squadrons down the, or rather up the Tennessee. Let's put a guy here. Put Riverline 4 around here, I guess. Is there any indication of a change in Missouri? There is not. Western Army is still sitting here. No IIPs have flipped ownership in the interior. Okay. A little bit of an attrition issue here at Chattanooga until we get the supply depot built. And yeah, Cassville is where he stopped his retreat and is building a new supply depot. Decatur is about to flip to Union control. Good stuff. We need to fix our supply issue here before proceeding further down. I think what I'll do with Steedman is just continue on down the railroad, and then take Jackson and then over to Vicksburg. I would kind of like to grab Little Rock as well. This looks like more bang for the buck coming this way. There is an army of Georgia here, not very large. Has he recruited any more troops? No. Overall, Confederate soldiers in uniform has dropped even more, down to 82,000. It was 87,000 last time I looked at this. I mean, we're overrunning a lot of his population, right? He's hardly getting... He shouldn't be hardly getting any troops out of Tennessee, and not very many out of Virginia, and those are pretty populous states, relatively speaking, for the Confederacy. What kind of shape is... Well, apparently he's on the river. Let's get him back. Let's Get him back feet dry there. Okay, so he ran low on provisions, especially forage. However, his supply flow is fine now. Okay. I think this is historical flavor, not tied to gameplay. I think. I could be wrong about that. And we're in a situation now where the Virginia blockade squadron doesn't have anything left to a blockade. So, what shall we do? Do we need them to reinforce North Carolina? They're at 80%. Charleston, 74. And Savannah, those are two pretty big ones. Could come down here. Fernandina is not blockaded. However, it's a pretty minor seaport. %, Pensacola. Good deal. 75%, Mobile, Biloxi, and New Orleans. And then what's the other? Galveston. 73%. That's just one port, though. Galveston's pretty big. I think I'm going to move the Virginia blockade squadron down to reinforce the North Carolina. No, not that one. The Charleston blockade. Get Savannah and Charleston to 100% blockaded. Oops, that's not right. I'm just trying to steer him around that fort, so he doesn't wind up in a bombardment there that I don't want him in. Yeah, he's kind of hovering right on the edge. Yeah. Yet another supply depot. Okay. All right. First Corps has got these forts done at Richmond. So I can't imagine the Hampton Division will actually stand and fight. We got our industrialization 3 there. They're almost certainly going to retreat, so come on down. First Corps. Still within the Army's command radius. Okay, so we got industrialization 3. Credit rating is BBB. What's our intervention chance? 24%. I just don't see any need to go for the legal blockade. I mean, the chance of intervention is low, with the South having not taken King Cotton. So there's no real threat there. And so basically all this policy is really going to do is cut down on our trade with Europe, which I think would just completely obviate the bonus of the higher trade war subsidy. I'm not too concerned about that. I think I'm just going to go for the second breadbasket. More food for the troops. They're marching a lot. They're hungry. So I need to open up another slot here. Yeah, Magruder is retreating, as he should. And we are capturing Petersburg. Good stuff. Supply still fine. Yeah, I think we'll do a fort here. Several forts have been built. I need to go back and plug commanders and maybe some garrisons into some of them. I'm going to do that off camera whenever I dole out all the extra brigades to the corps. Telegraph station right around Jonesboro ought to be about right. Come on down here. Picked up a nice lead mine there. I didn't even notice. Asheville, North Carolina, under Union control because of its proximity to Knoxville, I think. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's get some supply going. It's already a telegraph station here. I wonder if it's worthwhile moving 3rd Corps over here just to kind of lessen the supply demand. I don't know if that's going to have a beneficial effect or not. Okay, we've got our supply depot at Grenada, 5th Corps. He's restocking. He's still low, but it's on the positive side now. No change here. Okay, Petersburg is now Union controlled. We've taken several cities here. Where do we stand on 34? July 1862, Confederacy is on its last legs, it would appear. Our blockade squadron on station yet? Yes. So I had time to drive 100% on Charleston and Savannah, and whatever that is. Port Royal. Moral Land Grant Act. Historical flavor, I think. How big are these armies? 14,000, 21,000, so 35,000 total. Even if 1st Corps is not involved, 2nd and 6th together are about 50,000, a little over 50,000. Thing is, if I go attack and we have a battle here at Charlottesville, his retreat path is going to be up to Stanton. And I don't know if I particularly want him in the Shenandoah. I'm kind of thinking of looping 2nd Corps back up to Winchester, come down the valley, and come this way. But I don't know if he's going to be able to do that and remain within the Army HQ's command radius, unless I take the Army HQ with him, in which case the other corps over here will have the same problem in reverse. Okay, I am going to, I'm not going to take Hooker out of the Army. However, he's going to operate outside the command radius for a while. So that'll be kind of like he is detached. And I'm going to move him to Newmarket for now. There's several like farms and stuff along the Shenandoah. I kind of want to take those away from the Confederacy. Okay, looks like McClellan's supply issues have been, well, he's still, the same story, still building up stocks. Supply flow is fine. Did this move help? A little bit, yeah. Supply flow is higher over here for Reynolds. Still not enough, but it's not as bad as it was. I guess you may as well build a supply depot as well. How's the Army of Mississippi? Oh, here's a new player. The Army of Mississippi is at Jackson. How many men? Not too big. I don't think he'll be a serious problem. Stocks are coming back up here, so he'll be ready to move out again shortly. Okay, well, no tactical map action in this episode, but I would say we have made some significant progress in throttling the Confederacy. Economically, manpower-wise, several cities taken, and the front lines have moved a good bit to the south. If you like the content, leave some likes, leave some comments, maybe even... Man, they are really going hard on the diplomacy line. Okay. I guess the inference I could make is, all right, they're not recruiting many troops because they're not opening up the policies to do that. But the troops we do meet, I guess they're going to be pretty well armed with European weapons. Okay. Yeah, likes, comments, subs, and in any case, thank you very, very much for watching.